all have financial goals, but it can be difficult to keep track of where our money goes. Khriztina Lim co-founded Lista to help Filipinos and small businesses manage their finances efficiently. She joins us now to talk about the startup on The Final Word. Khriztina, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, Rico. Thanks for having me.
So, I took a look at your resume. You worked with Mega World, Lifestyle Malls, and then Grab. You had an executive position there for several years. And then in 2021, co-founded Lista. What made you decide to venture on your own?
Well, ever since I entered the startup world 10 years ago, I've always dreamed of having my own company to be able to offer solutions to a common problem that everyone is facing. I've also worked closely with the CEO of Grab, Anthony Tan, and during the early days when Grab was just called Grab Taxi, the passion and dedication is actually infectious and it's inspiring. But the person who really encouraged me to jump in and start Lista is my mentor, Brian Koo. He said, if you find what you're passionate about and you know in your heart that this is what you want to do, go ahead, take the risk.
And of course,
now I'm here.
And then Brian Koo, of course, was the head of Grab Philippines, and then now he's also set up his own startup. What has been the experience like, Khriztina, building a fintech budgeting app from the ground up?
I'm not gonna sugarcoat. It was very difficult, given that we were in the middle of the pandemic. I can't meet people face to face.
Right.
And my situation was very unique, given that I was pregnant when we were building it and we were fundraising. There were a lot of things that we had to learn, being a first-time founder. But, seeing the company grow from 100 downloads to 1.4 million downloads as of today, getting genuine feedback from our users, how we were able to help them better their businesses and personal finance, it's just rewarding. It's all worth it.
Absolutely. Very challenging, balancing family life, building a startup company, and also trying to get finances to basically to prop up the operations of the company. What innovations, Khriztina, does Lista have that makes it stand out from other expense trackers?
Well, it's very simple to use. You don't need anything to understand that money in is color green, it's income, that's good. Money out is expense, that's red. You might wanna, take care of that. It's free to use, it's free to download. And what's very important is that it's hyper-local. Even the language that we use to create the app, the user experience, we use the mix of Tagalog and English, and making sure that the user behavior is really of what Filipinos are actually doing.
And how can Lista empower Filipinos to be financially literate and, of course, make saving a habit?
I think by simplifying the process and making it less intimidating is the first step. We're also giving out rewards and promotions to users who have met their savings goals. I'm really happy to share that ever since we launched the Savings Challenge feature in September this year, 21% of our users have already met their savings goal. I'm so excited to see the numbers grow.
And what is Lista's goal? How many underserved Filipinos do you want to reach out to?
We want to reach and help anyone and everyone who needs money, makes money, and spends money. We're always studying and trying to figure out our users' needs, especially the underserved, as you mentioned. We found that the greatest barrier for them to use the app is actually data or internet, because it's very expensive here in the Philippines. So we launched the offline mode. So now you don't need any data or internet to be able to enjoy the features of Lista. So that's just the first step. I think there's way more to go, but we will get there.
And of course, the bottom line for Lista is financial inclusion for all our kababayans. I was taking a look, of course, at the definition of Lista. It means, if it's an adjective, then it means matalas, mabilis, gising, maliksi, nakahanda. Lista can also mean Lista sa Philippine Stock Exchange or the Nasdaq Exchange in New York. What is the group's end goal for the company?
Kinilig ako. I love the question,
Di
Rico.
ba?
I think every startup dreams to ring that bell in New York Stock Exchange. End goal is to get every Filipino a step closer to becoming financially literate, but also IPO, syempre.
And of course, you know, do you really want Lista to be as big as the previous companies that you work for, like Grab or Mega World? I mean, Anthony Tan, I've met him a few times and interviewed him. He really just started from just a startup, and look at him now. He's huge.
Yes, it's very inspiring. It's the same dream that we had when we were starting Grab, actually. We want Grab to be in every phone of every Filipino, of every person in Southeast Asia. And it's the same. I want the same for Lista, every Filipino's mobile phones. You know, much like Grab, I want Lista to positively impact the lives of Filipinos.
Congratulations on your startup and looking forward to that Lista on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. Lista co-founder
Thank you.
Khriztina Lim.